Looks like it is almost 7:30, so we'll go ahead and get started. So today's lesson is almost like a step back in time. And here I'll show you what I mean. So our lesson for today, and it kind of seems backwards, and a lot of math teachers say this is kind of backwards to do this next. Like we should have done this first. So this is probably going to be easier because we did factoring, and factoring is reverse multiplication. So we've already multiplied. And then adding and subtracting, I'm sure you've done in previous math classes. So today's going to be a very easy day. I'm going to fill out these notes with you. And if you need more help, now the only thing that's different that maybe is at the Algebra 2 level is that we're going to be doing perimeter and area. And instead of just numbers, there's going to be variables. So how do you find the perimeter and the area when there's just variables? This person did a very good job explaining that. And then here's another person who I think does an exceptional job, and that is something you're going to need to know. And then you have your practice and then your quiz. So let's go ahead and start out on the guided notes. So before we go too far into this, you should remember how to do this with just numbers. And so the question is, find the perimeter and find the area. Okay, when you find the perimeter, perimeter means around the outside. So as I'm looking at this, if I'm tracing around the outside, I would say for perimeter, I would say, well, that's 18. That takes care of that. And then there's multiple ways to go about this. I mean, sometimes you just add what you know. So you know that's 821. You could, and you're going to use this trick. So, I mean, there's two ways to do this. You could say, okay, 21 minus 11 is 10. So then this is 10 because segment addition, 11 plus 10 is 21. Or you could just say, hey, if this is 21, then this part here, those two together are 21. And just like here, you could say, okay, if that's 18 and this is 6, then this must be 12. Or if this is 18, then the whole thing down is going to also be 18. So it's kind of a trick. So there's 6 plus 12, which is 18. You add up all those numbers. You go 18 plus 18 plus 21 plus 21, and I get 78. So 78 feet. So that's how you find the perimeter. Notice, really not too bad. Now to find the area, you have to divide the figure into basic figures. So something with rectangles, this is just, you know, almost 2 rectangles. You decide how you want to divide it up. And there's many ways to divide this up. So I could make a vertical line here and cut this into 2 rectangles. I could make a vertical line or horizontal line here, and I have these 2 rectangles. Or I could even draw one here and have 3 rectangles. So it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to go this way. So remember, perimeter is the distance around a shape. Area would be the units within inside, and you do length times width. So this area right here is easy. It's 11 times 6. So this one's going to be 66 square feet. And then on bottom, you're going to have 21. You have 21 here. And then how high is this? Well, if this is 18 and that's 6, this has to be 12. So then you take 21 times 12 and you get 252. So you divide the figure into basic shapes. You find the dimensions of each figure, which we just did. You find the area of each figure, which we just did. And then you add the areas. So there's only 2 areas. You take 66 plus 252, you get 318. So you would say area is equal to 318. And remember, when you're doing area, that's square feet because you multiplied. So you need to put square feet. So that is how you find the perimeter and the area. That's review. Now, how would this be different for Algebra 2? And I'll show you an example. In fact, I kind of feel like, I know this was a practice problem, but I kind of feel like I should do this one for you. And then on the practice, just to make sure you understand, there's another one on there for you. So this is how it looks for Algebra 2. A little more abstract, no numbers. I mean, they are numbers, but they're algebraic expressions. So how do you find the area? Well, let's do the perimeter first. So perimeter, I add around the outside of the shape. So, trying to think on this one. Okay. So if I'm doing the perimeter, I would say negative 4x plus 5. So I'm going to write that down. I really don't have much room here. I guess I could do it here. Perimeter is negative 4x plus 5. And then let's go ahead and just add in negative 4x. Okay. And then we can add in the negative 3x. Add on another negative 3x. Okay. Now this side's a little trickier because this is going to be negative 4x plus 5 plus negative 3x. Wow, I'm running out of room here. I guess I'll do it here. Plus negative 4x plus 5 plus negative 3x. Almost done. Now we have the vertical distance here. So what is this? This would be negative 4x plus negative 3x. So we add all that together, and when you're adding, and we're not going to go over these very simple problems, just remember, in order to add two expressions, they have to be exactly the same. So a cubed b, you could just take 2 plus 4 and you get 6. A cubed b. A very common mistake I see is kids will put 6, a to the 6th, b squared. When you're adding and subtracting, you don't do that. So these are very, very simple. And I know I'm not finished with that problem, but what I'm getting at is in order to add them, they must be like terms. So had, excuse me, had this been a b to the 2nd, you cannot add those. So let's see, what is all of that? Negative 4 and negative 4 is negative 8. That's negative 11, negative 14, negative 18, negative 21, negative 25, negative 28x. Okay, adding up all the numbers, 5, 5, that's 10. Oh, just 10. So there is the perimeter. And we don't know the units, so I'll just put units. Now area is a little bit easier. Well, actually it's harder, but you break it into shape. So let's do this one first. So to find the area of that shape, I would take negative 4x plus 5 times negative 4x to find this area. So if I take this times this, that will be this area. And then to find the area below, which I'm just going to make into one big rectangle. The height is easy. The height's negative 3x. The width is going to be negative 3x plus negative 4x plus 5. So if I do that real fast in my head, if I add this one and this one together, that's negative 7x plus 5. I then just do the math, and this part is algebra 1. I would go negative 4x times negative 4x, that's 16x squared. Negative 4x times 5 is negative 20x. Then I would distribute negative 3x to negative 7x, that'd be plus 21x. And then negative 3x times 5, that's negative 15x. And then I reduce all that. Let's see, x squared, there's only 1. Well, there's actually 16. Negative 20 plus 21 is 1. And then you take your 1 minus your 15, and you get negative 14x. And it'd be units squared. I just ran out of room. So that is how you find perimeter and area. Looking, and we might as well keep looking at the worksheet. Notice sometimes everything is lined up for you. These are very, very simple, easy problems. If you do these, you're like, that's all? Yeah, that's it. Here, when you're subtracting polynomials, when you're subtracting and they're in parentheses, make sure you do minus 5n and minus 2. Remember that negative will change those signs. The negative will change those signs. So this is going to be 3d squared minus 2d squared, 8d minus negative. Remember, minus negative makes it a plus. Okay, so I think that's the big thing. When you have a negative, make sure you distribute, and that changes all the signs. And then here's one I'll let you try yourself to find the perimeter yourself. Okay, so that's the practice today. We are not done with the notes. I kind of jumped ahead of myself. So I found this problem online. It's Farmer Bob is planting a garden. Now he's going to plant all of these vegetables. And then he drew out his field. Yes, this makes absolutely no sense. You probably wouldn't measure something as x squared minus 7x plus 12, but here it is. And so we're going to use this figure to solve some stuff. Okay. Now I wish it wasn't on the back of this page. But the first thing is find the perimeter. And then I did kind of make this find the perimeter. So those are the same question. But yeah, let's find the perimeter of the whole field first. Perimeter of the whole field. And I'm going to do it down here just because it's going to be hard flipping back and forth. Perimeter of the whole field. Now I would take x plus 4x. That's a 6. Sorry, I can't read. Plus xy minus 1 plus xy plus 1 plus x plus 6 and then the order that I'm going to go ahead and go over here, that'd be plus 4x plus 5x minus 2 plus 5x plus 2 plus x squared minus 9. And if you have a highlighter, see how like if you highlight it as you go, I mean, you don't forget anything. It's a very useful tool. And then I believe that says x squared minus 7x plus 12. And then you combine like terms. Start off with the highest degree. So the highest degree I see is x squared. So I'm going to take this x squared and this x squared. And I don't see any other x squareds. That makes 2x squared. And then I would do the xy term. Let's see. xy, I have xy, one of those, another one that makes 2 of those. That's all the xy's I see. Now there's a lot of x terms, so let's do that. We got x, that's one of them, plus 6 of them, 7. Now we're up to 7, plus another one, that's 8, plus 4 of them, that's 12, plus 5 would be 17, plus 5, 22, and then we're going to take away 7, it's 15x. And notice, circling them as I go, I can make sure I don't forget one. Next, I have the constants. I have -1, plus 1. Those cancel. We're back at 0. And then I have 6 minus 2, which is 4. Add 2 more, that's 6. And then I'm going to take 6 minus 9, that's -3. And then add that to 12, and I get 9. So there's my perimeter. Okay. That would go here. Find the perimeter. Write an expression that represents the perimeter of each of the following fields. So if I wanted to find the perimeter of the squash field, which now that I'm looking at it, it just seems like it's not worth our time. So if I'm doing the perimeter of the squash field, which we could do, I guess, the squash field is going to be 4x plus this 4x, that's 8x, plus this x, 9x. Well, this is also x, so that'd be 10x. So it's going to be 4x plus x plus 4x plus x, that's 10x. Pumpkins? Where are you, pumpkin field? See, pumpkin field, we're going to have 5x minus 2, 5x plus 2. So I'm going to have 10x. Those two are going to go away, -2 plus 2. If this is 10x, then this is going to be 10x. So I get 20x. So I have 10x. This is going to be 10x also. So we're up to 20x. Corn. corn is probably the trickiest. So if I'm doing the cornfield, I would go 6x. And then I would also probably, because there's really no way to find this, so I would probably recognize that if you take this plus this, you also get 6x. So you have 6x plus 6x, that's 12x. And then, maybe I should write that, I might write that down real fast. So for corn, this one takes longer. 6x plus 6x. And I'm not using the x squared minus 9 because there's no way to find this without doing a whole bunch of math. And it's just much easier to say that if this is 6x, then so is this, 6x. Now the whole thing going this way is going to be, here's where it gets confusing because this problem actually makes, well, I guess because of the y, but this whole thing, do you go 4x plus 5x minus 2, or do you go xy plus 1 plus x plus 6? And there's really not a right answer there. So you pick. So those are going to be equivalent somehow because they're the same length. So I'm just going to pick the one on the left because it doesn't have x's. So this is 4x plus 5x minus 2. And if this is 4x plus 5x minus 2, then this is going to be 4x plus 5x minus 2. 4x plus 5x minus 2, because it's the whole distance. Then you do all the math. You got 6, 12, plus 4 is 16. Add on a 5, that's 21. Add on a 4, that's 25. Add on a 5, that's 30. And then the two negative 2's make negative 4. Okay. Now, I'm not going to focus in on area, and there's a reason why on that. It's more important that you know how to do perimeter, but to find area, which, you know, actually it may not be a bad idea just to do a couple area. I'm not going to do this whole thing. Like one thing that could be interesting is the area of the potato field. So if I wanted to find the area of the potato field, then I would take this times this to find the area of the whole thing. So I need to take this times this. So let me copy that down, and I'm just going to show you just a reminder how to multiply this times this. So that'd be for area. So x plus 6. That's potatoes. Times x squared minus 7x plus 12. So when you multiply, you start off with the first term. And you already know this because we've been factoring, but just to review, you distribute that x to all other three terms. You see what you get. X times x squared, x cubed. X times negative 7x, negative 7x squared. X times 12, 12x. You then move to the next term, the 6, and you distribute that to all three. So you're going to go 6 times x squared, 6 times negative 7x, 6 times 12. Doing the math there, that'd be 6x squared. That is a plus, okay. 6 times negative 7 is negative 42x. And then 6 times 12, 72. combine like terms. There's no other x cubes. Again, I like to circle as I go. And then x squared, I have a negative 7x squared and a 6x squared. That makes a negative 1x squared. And remember, in your practice, it's really easy. All you got to do is do this plus this, and you're done. 12x minus 42x. That's negative 30x. And then plus 72. That would be the area. It'd be square units. I'm not going to worry about that. But that is how you do perimeter and area. So on your, again, on the practice, they're very simple. Probably not going to take you long. Unless it's a problem like this, there's not going to be much work because you're literally just subtracting two numbers and then putting an x squared with it. All I could stress, again, this is my last thing I need to say. Make sure you know how to do this. This is something you might see again. Make sure you know how to do perimeter. And then here, when you're adding polynomials, if there's a plus, you could just get rid of all the parentheses. So you don't need the parentheses. But if there's a minus, you need to distribute the negative, which changes all the signs and negates everything. So that makes that a negative 5d cubed, a negative 3d, a plus 4. And because there's nothing in front of these parentheses, you could drop the parentheses. So that is review probably from Algebra 1. Looks like we're out of time. I hope you have a good day. Remember, I will post this out there. Nice seeing you all.